Okay, we're back here. See if Noah's around. Ugh. I'm tired. Just the very basic limited training I've been doing. It takes a lot out of you getting back into stuff. I don't know. We'll have to optimize that routine to be faster. Meantime, what do we have here? We have solved Connect 4 and currently about 6 minutes. Can definitely be faster than that. This is very slow for some reason. What's the cost? Oh yeah, the cost is high. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. We'll just leave this running. Is that a new message, Noah? Hold on. 12, 13. Yeah, there you are. Perfect. Let's review your code. Hyperparams are going. We got some M's to fix that are like, this is freezing up for some reason. I don't quite know why. We'll handle all that though. Link your code. I guess actually, is there PR up? Probably just have a PR, don't you? Guess not. Go ahead and link me whatever you got. I got, I think, 45 minutes to go through this now. Maybe longer. Let me see if I just checked the NYU Slack. Got a little meeting there. Get some coffee or something. My gosh. Literally, I just did 3 kilometers and a very easy dumbbell workout, but takes a lot. Takes a lot out of you. Just created a PR. Implement TCG. You want me to do a proper code review right here? Okay, I think if we put the actual names of stuff in, you can't patent game mechanics. You can, I mean, you can't trademark game mechanics, but you can trademark names. So if you've imported the actual names, this is going to get us sued. So let's not do that. I'm going to have to do something with that. Let me see. So you'll know to do that. And let me look at this. Okay, we got the C file. Load from JSON. Exit failure. JSON array for each. Wait, what? Is this a method in a method? No. What the heck is this? Yeah, I downloaded. Yeah, you're gonna have to generate some stuff for this. This cannot be in the PR. Like, this cannot be in the merge ever. I actually don't know what this is. I don't actually even know how this is valid C. Am I just missing something? Is this a struct? No. What is this? Is it generate? Well, what is this? Oh, this is, okay, this is imported from CJSON, okay. But then wait, but this has an open bracket. The heck? Is this some like bizarro macro for each loop? Let me see this file. Is this a library that you found? Or what is this? We'll look at the H file. Where's the... This is fine to do this in Python, yeah. You didn't commit the C date. You didn't commit the JSON. If this is C JSON, is it this? Oh, okay, because this is a whole ass library. Oh, but it's a single file. Okay, so this is some gross macro. I see. I really don't like libraries that do this, but this is fine. Added in build ocean, okay. I'm not gonna be too beat up over using a weird JSON load library. At least it's one file. I really don't like the macros like this, but whatever. It's short enough. You get this, you get tag, okay, and just we do it load the. Now to fix this path, what you do for this is you use the local path from resources. You just use the resource path, and then in the for the Python version, you have to set the path in the Python. You can look at like any of the other environments for how to do this. So here, could be LFs, but doesn't really matter. And what do we have? Want to include diff with every n won't figure out how many build some many just the Python's fine. So let's look at the C. Probably also fixed from brew. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'll fix these paths. You can do abs. Now let's look at this diff. So this is the big one. Okay, this is fine. Upkeep. And you added oh, this is just an enum. That's fine. I don't usually use enums. I usually just pound define stuff, but this is fine. Because then it's card type dot type land, isn't it? If I do like type. Oh no, it's not. Hold on, am I stupid? I guess I'm stupid. Okay, I learned something. C enums are nicer than Python enums. This is totally good. Yeah, this is actually better, so I've been stupid about these. I assumed because in Python you gotta do like zone type dot, whatever, it's obnoxious. Yeah, this is really solid. Okay. Effect to description. You get a bit of additional type safety. Meh. Do you? What? If you pass an enum to a function, what's the type? I guess it's zone type. I see what you mean. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, these are good. I was wrong about these. The thing is, I assumed because in Python it's like you have to do card type dot type land, which is redundant and stupid. So yeah, I was wrong about these. Yeah, from here on, if you don't need the integer, like for the actions, I think still have to be pound defined, right? Or whatever, because you need the integer. But yeah, these are good. Enums are weak in C. I mean, that's what I want. I want them to just be something simple and weak. Activation of effects. Okay, we can look at that. I got a good half hour to fiddle with this. So this is going to have a trigger, a condition, activate. Yep, this is about what I expected. We don't like to do this all over the place, but this is exactly what has to be done here. And then we get struct stack item. I also did not know that C has union types. What is this? I literally didn't know that. I don't know if I like union types, but let me see what this is. So this can either be a phase function or it can be an effect. Wait, what's this thing? You've managed to do some stuff that I actually don't even know. Now it's this work name. I'm seeing if this is sane or if this is like overdone. Union function. Only one member can be valid. Which is currently valid. Case. Switch item type. And then you have if item phase function. This is redundant. Okay, I'm gonna withhold judgment on this until I think about it for a bit. The way that I would have done this, not knowing what this is, and being very, very simple, is I would have just put both of these things into the, I would just put both of these things into the stack item, and then just check them against null. Is literally all I would do. Because here they're doing the null, they're doing the null check anyways for safety. So they're doing both checks. I mean, I think this is redundant and you can just drop this. But then you're basically assuming that because this type is defined that it's not null, which I think is maybe always true. I don't know. I generally stay away from extra language features unless they really do something. I can't really tell if this is really doing anything for you. I do everything in the stupidest way possible and apply a very, very high threshold before I do something more complicated. You know, it's got to really buy you something. Never really seen a great need for the union types. Welcome, YouTube folks. Just you can see what we're currently reviewing. This is my initial prototype of a trading card game that I made. Let's see, you can do like, you can play a land, right? You can play this, and then let's see, let's play another land, let's play this, and now we will swing with this and this, right? And we attack and all that. So basic TCG prototype. Noah has gone ahead and made it into an actual env and expanded on a lot of stuff. So we're reviewing the code for this. Okay, this is something that kind of irritates me, though I'll have to see how you use it. Having like a stack item that has, having a stack item struct that has, let's see, this has two things in it, one of which is a specific enum up here, and then the stack itself only has two things. These enums are like too small. Like, I mean, these things are like too small. I'd almost just put the stack. Well, you can't just put the stack thing in there because it's an array. Maybe this is fine. Yeah, I'm being too harsh. Maybe this is fine. Stack.data. Kind of irritating. Index. Yeah, I guess you kind of want this index. I mean, the alternative would just be to do stack in the class, but you probably have a bunch of these. So, okay. We'll leave this alone for now. You push to the stack. You change to stack item. Yep, this is fine. Got card. You added a name. Added a type. I wonder if the name is going to slow stuff down. There's a bunch of extra memory to copy around. We'll see about this. Copying all these strings. We might just want to do this at eval time. We'll see. All right, what the heck is this? Union inline struct with one element. Okay, this is definitely, before I wasn't sure, but this is definitely like overdoing it, right? Dude, yeah, this is totally overdoing it. I mean, this is just so much extra complicated machinery that you don't need. We'll see if Captain agrees with me. Yo, Captain, what do you think? The way that I would do this is I would just take all of these fields here, I would stick them as part of the card struct, and, you know, the type here, you're just going to check this against creature or spell, and if it is, you know, if it's a spell, you don't access all this other stuff. You don't even have to check it against null, though, is the thing, because you have the type, right? So you're literally just going to check against creature or spell, right? And if it's spell, you only access effect, and if it's creature, you access the other stuff. Does this give you any other type? Does this even give you anything if you do this? Is there like extra type safety or extra null checks or like something that like really matters that you can do here? Because this to me looks overbuilt to me. I'm being nitpicky, by the way, because your code is actually very, very good. Like from the first M that you submitted, this is like a world of difference. Forgot about unions, don't think you need them. It's not really adding a lot of complexity. Well, yeah, I'm being somewhat nitpicky for sure. You save, dude, you don't save, if you want to save memory, you're like, look at this. You're loading the name in every single time, even when you're doing training here, right? So it's like, this is clearly not designed for that in mind. This isn't even struct packed properly, right? Look, there's a bool here in between an int and a struct. Like, this isn't even packed correctly. So like, we're not really caring about that. I think it guarantees only one member of the union has a value. Yeah, but what does that get you? So you have to check the type of this thing, which is now redundant because you already have the type up here, right? I think. So you have to check the type of this thing against creature or against spell versus just checking this type. I mean, technically this is a little bit safer, but I don't think that the safety is worth the... I mean, this is some complexity being added. I don't really think that this is worth it. I would rather just have everything be flat. And then you don't have to access .data, you just access directly. You save the layer of indirection with this. Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely do it the other way. It's not terrible. And I think even, you know, good programmers would disagree with me here potentially. But I don't like to use extra language features when there's a simpler thing that does the job just as well. Like I say, I'm being nitpicky with you because your code's pretty damn good. Card array. Cards, length max, very good. Allocate creature. Allocate creature. Okay, so here I potentially take issue because this is an allocation and an initialization in one. So you're not supposed to be. I'm going to have to see how you're using this, but you should not be allocating memory at runtime. And by that I mean, like, after you initialize the environment, you should not be allocating more memory while you're running the environment. So I'm a little bit suspicious when I see something that's an allocate and an init, because you can call this init stuff. You can call this init once you have the memory. So we'll see how you're using this. Okay, same thing with all of these. If you're not abusing these, then it's fine. We'll look at it. Land, graveyard, opponent lands, opponent graveyard. Yep, very good. This even could potentially be a struct. I don't know, opponent hand. This could be made a struct, it doesn't have to be. I think this is good flat. Only used when initialized in the end, then you're A-okay. I'm a little confused how that's possible though, because you're loading all the data in these functions. I guess you don't have like deck randomization or like deck modification capabilities, but like let's say when you reset the environment that you change the decks, right? Then what you would want is you'd want just to do the allocations, and then you'd want an initialize function that does this on top of the allocation, right? Priority, yep. Okay, add cards to. Wait. Okay, so this is a little silly. This env parameter is not used, and it's not used here either because it's not used in either of these. So, yeah, we'll see on the other ones. This one here is silly because you don't actually use the env parameter anywhere. So what I would do is I would put these functions up with card array, and this can be like, this is like an add to array, add card, that's fine. I'd put the card array first because the card array is the key object here, and then and then I'd put the card after. Also, this is a copy. This is a copy, right? Is this supposed to be a copy? You're copying the card. And actually, does this card have pointers in it? Let me see. Okay, I don't know if this card has pointers in it, but if this card has pointers in it, then you're gonna do some screwy stuff and have pointers to multiple, that can be adjusted from multiple places. So yeah, fix these things up, I'd say. Shouldn't need prototypes. If your code's ordered reasonably. This is fine, this is fine. Oh, I'm supposed to be adding comments for you, so it's easy. Yes. Put reference card array as first, RAM second. Copy here. Group. Struct. Compiling. Well, we do. Captain, our build, we do like wall. I don't know if the wall misses anything. Yeah, probably extra and pedantic. Pedantic's kind of, well, pedantic, but... Empty. Cool, some debug. Obviously, these don't go in the main. Main build. Main build. And my hand full. Huh? Wait, is there an opponent hand full function? I'm confused. Oh. I see. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, I think these are redundant. Draw a card. Generally, could probably work. Rid of binary. And was it? Keep thing. Nature protein type. Get crowded. Flex. Pass. The card. Raise. It's 15-minute warning on meeting. Gotta get going here. Or I'll finish this after. Randomized deck, yep. Tappable mana. Okay, and then tap lands for mana. It's perfectly fine code. Turn areas. The turn areas everywhere have got to go, right? So we'll have to refactor stuff a little bit for this. And play card. Oh, this is good. Untap. Oh, I think I'm yelling at you over my own prints, because I think I left the prints in. Prototype is fine. Push. It's always silly to me when we do stuff like this, because it's like, I think this is a copy function anyways. Yeah, this is a copy function. So it's like we're making a struct and then immediately copying it. Probably something better here. I don't know. Maybe there should be a version of this that takes type and phase function instead. Depends if we actually ever push stack, like existing stack items. Phase upkeep. Yeah, you added summoning sickness, very nice. Graveyard as well. Graveyard, mount moves. No op. Yeah. Repeated stack item creation only to repeated copies. Ever push existing items. Hey. Card. Switch on the card type, it's fine. And then this return to user to stack is pretty cool. I like the way that that happens. Yeah, all these stack items are kind of insane. But this is very clean logic otherwise. I like this. Then you attack. Yeah, pretty much the only thing bothering me is this like crazy like stack item everywhere. Turn to user. Summoning sickness is good. We might want to have a print macro that we can enable with the debug mode or not, because it's a pretty complicated env, and it's an env that like it's useful to see the order of the stack. So probably instead of deleting all the prints, we should just make like a print debug macro or whatever, or like a print if or whatever that just prints if a flag is set. It's block. And I think the compiler will just take that out if it sees a constant. Okay, that's good. And yep. Skip. What happened here? This is the old attack logic. I have to see the full file for this. Reset attack and defending states. Yeah, I mean, so this is like the thing I was trying to avoid. Cards of action dot data dot creature dot like this is a lot. Card. What's this? Pop. Okay, so there is an elif here. And then I would invert this. It's just kind of deep. Biggest thing I see is just the massive amount of stack item thing all over the code. It's like, this is kind of ridiculous the way that this is. It's adding a lot of stuff. Then we have render, which you added. Okay, you added some text to stuff. Instant. These do get different positions. Interesting. Sorcery, render card. Render my hand. Opponent hand, render my board. Okay. And then we get this. Opponent board, yeah. Let's get land. You added the land zone. Opponent lands. It'd be nice to be able to just have one function for each of these, but probably there's it's probably literally easier the way you've done it to just duplicate the functions. It's probably easier. This is super easy. You get the phase. I'd say very good overall. I have a couple minor nitpicks. I mean, I got a couple minutes, so let me just look at the full file. Make sure this still looks good when I scroll the full file. Yeah, these can go. These ones, whoops. Input on how to implement activation of effects. Yeah, let me do that right now. How to so the user should be able to select from hand, field, graveyard, and to add a variable amount of targets. Well, it's not that they're able to select from hand, field, or graveyard, right? It's that there's a trigger, and you have the option to activate effects for cards as they're triggered, right? So in the actual game, when a card, well, in the computer version of the game, right, the activated card will pop up, and then you'll have the option to use it, right? And sometimes it gives you multiple targets, or it lets you target things. So I think it's all contextual, right? So you'll have to get those into the observation, but as for the actions for those, it's still just the number keys, because it's like number keys and enter or not, right? So you can select, select the card and enter to activate it. And then if the card targets your own field, that'll be contextual and it'll just be numpad. If it targets the enemies, then that'll also be contextual and be numpad. And what you should do is you should just have the observations. In the observations, one of the observations should just be the things that you're currently targeting, right? The things that your num keys map to. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Does that make sense? Or am I off on my understanding here and gotta go play some more MTG? I got a meeting in 5. Think you're right. Bit of a pain to think of the recursive logic. So I want to separate two things for you, right? Which is I want to separate the logic of the game from the piece that's troubling you with RL. So implementing the game with the stack is one thing, right? But the piece with the RL, it's just whatever the stack gives you, it's giving you targeting options. You think of it, you have like 10 slots or whatever to target, right? That are mapped to your num keys. And that's just what is targeted. You press the num keys and that's what you target. You press enter to confirm. And so the action space is very, very simple. Now in the observations, it's more complicated, right? Instead of just being able to see the field, we're probably going to have to add a contextual buffer. So like whatever is in the context at the moment, right? If you have like 4 targeting options, they should go 1, 2, 3, 4 into that contextual buffer. That should be a thing. But other than that, I think that the RL specific, if we design it this way, the RL portion of this environment should be very easy. Like the RL side doesn't really add any constraints other than keeping the code fast, right? And I'll look through the stack logic. I'm gonna play this thing, right? Fix like the couple small things, especially the names, and then we can PR this as it'll still stay a work in progress environment, but we can PR it, and I can play with it a little bit, and I can help you out. All right? Maybe we can even start getting some basic models on this. That'd be fun. Very solid PR. Very solid PR. Only had a couple nitpicks. Okay, I gotta go run to my meeting. If you play, don't surprise. Are you still using carbs for hyperparameter search? We're now using neocarbs. I spent Saturday modifying carbs, and yeah, it's way better now. We've got experiments running, and we are kind of crushing it. Also, we got like several hundred experiments running now. This is Connect 4 being solved here. Burrito Front's getting very nice as well. Holy, look at that. Okay. Spencer, you came just as I got to run. I got a meeting that I got to go to in 2 minutes, and I will be back streaming after that. So for folks on YouTube, be back in, I don't know, a little bit. You can check out all our stuff here on puffer.ai. Start the repo to help us out. Really helps us out. Join the Discord if you want to get involved with dev or using PufferLib. And then I post all sorts of RL stuff and articles on X. There's also a blog. All our demos playable online. You can watch the agents play, etc., etc. Thanks, folks, and